ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। भगवद गीता चैप्टर नंबर 2 टेक्स्ट नंबर 2। श्री भगवानुवाच कुतस्त्वकस्वलमिदं विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुस्तम् अस्वर्गं कीर्तिकरम् अर्जुन। Read the translation, then we'll discuss. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets but to infamy." ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पुंगं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणम्। हरे कृष्णा। So, before we jump into the details, anyone have any questions, would like to comment? As today is Sunday, let's keep it more discussion oriented. Anyone would like to bring up any aspects or want to share anything? Any insights? Yes. Who would like to begin? Let us please think, please bring up any concerns, any issues which we want to tackle or discuss, or any questions. You can ask any general questions also, so that we can use today's time for that. Subal Prabhu, Vanshira Prabhu, Baldev Prabhu, would you like to add anything? Share?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances.
One second, Mataji. Let me increase my volume. Please tell. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhuji, if Prabhuji wants to speak, they can speak, then I can.
Mataji, your voice is very low.
I'm saying, Prabhuji,
Yeah, we can hear Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
yeah, Prabhuji, please go ahead. Then after your.
No, Mataji, after I'm just telling, I'm able to hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji, after you.
Yes, please, Baswati Mataji, please
Okay.
speak.
Prabhuji, just a general question about the distraction.
Be little louder. Can you be little louder, Amma?
Yes, Prabhuji, okay. Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Amma, yes.
So, Prabhuji, I have a general question about the distractions in Bhakti Path. So, if you please enlighten a little bit about that distraction and discipline, both, Prabhuji.
Distractions in the path of devotional service
How to overcome the distraction? Sometimes this comes.
is a common question. Is a general question. Everyone has this question. One second. I see a whiteboard seeing in my screen. Did somebody open it? Or do we need this?
I don't know, Prabhuji, who opened the host. Host is maybe Sushilva Mataji. I don't know who opened
It
it.
says only the host can do it, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So we have to ask Sushilpa Mataji.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So somehow I cannot close this. I'll continue like that. No, not a problem. Okay, so distractions. Distractions on the path of devotional service. The process of Krishna consciousness is a very dynamic and aggressive process. Why it is dynamic? Why it is aggressive? There are reasons. Because it is aggressive, because in the place we have been kept, it is very aggressive. Just like we were discussing yesterday, Krishna is telling two aspects. Aspect one, he is giving a clarity that we are not this body. And the second aspect is telling, and if an intelligent person do not invest much time or focus on that body. This doesn't mean that the intelligent person is completely ignoring the body. No, no. There are extremities. One cannot go to extremes. The moment I hear that I'm not this body but a powerful spirit soul, I cannot neglect my body. If I neglect the body, then the essence in which the Lord has kept in this body is missed. That means the Lord, Krishna, giving us this body, there is a purpose for that. Acharya's words, there's a purpose for that. So one cannot come out of this just like that. One cannot ignore. Generally, very few people will do that. Not everyone will immediately come to that state that yes, I'm a powerful spirit soul, because everyone has an attachment to one's own body. Even though we agree or not, everyone has this attachment to one's own body. So now a point is, if the Lord is telling that do not invest too much focus on this body, what that signifies is you maintain that body in alliance with the soul. That means you maintain this body to see that the functioning of the soul is continuing. That means the functioning of the soul is not obstructed. Soul will function. Functioning of the soul means as per Krishna conscious. Because soul will get only happiness through that. For example, let's say I was just working on a small project. I was trying to prepare how I need to manage the things. Now that project is for a long term, like 10-year project. Now, first prominent question which will come is, why am I doing this project? If it is not pleasing Guru and Krishna, that entire project has of no value. Let's say if I'm investing 10 hours, 15 hours on that, but if the essence out of this project is not, the fruits are not given for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, then the project will not have any value. Because what is happening? I'm using the body, using the intelligence, using the mind, using my senses, because I have to watch the cell phone, I have to ask some questions, figure out what is best. Using all the energies, using AI, using all the energies to do what? To do a project, right? But what is the outcome of the project? That is the first question which will come. यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणो यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्म बन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय उक्त संघ समाचारः. That means if that project is not done for the pleasure of Vishnu or Krishna, then no matter how thousands and millions of projects we have done, it will not give value or any result. Now, how is this? Because using this body only to write a project or do something, we are using this body. For example, we are reading scripture, we are using this body. We are studying, we are using this body. We are hearing, we are using this body. But all of that purpose, what is the core idea? As Mataji was mentioning, how do I become free from distractions? The moment I begin engaging myself in toto for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. By the way, today is the appearance day of His Holiness Japatak Swami Maharaj. So when we engage our mind, our intelligence, our senses for their happiness, then what happens is the percentage of distraction will be reduced. And then I told another aspect, right? What was that? The sloka number 17, which Krishna is telling in Gita. We will go through that sloka also. Where on one aspect is telling become aloof from the bodily conception. And on the other aspect, what is he telling? You are a powerful spirit soul. You need to understand and you need to give importance to that. That means two things you are doing at the same place. Aspect one is not giving importance to this body, but aspect two giving the importance of the soul. What does that mean, that giving importance to the soul? Giving importance to the soul means working in accordance to the words of Guru and Sadhu, Guru Sadhu Shastra. So when I do that, practically what is happening is the bodily consciousness is reduced. The devotee will not hanker for any happiness which is coming through the senses. Because he's free from that. Because he has so many other things to do rather than engage in cheap, small things. These are all the deviations. Now, every person's deviations will not be same. Every person's discrepancies will not be same. They will be different because they actually do according to their habits. Now, distractions are common. Everyone has distractions. But one person's distraction is not unique to the other person. One person has an attachment to money. Other person might have an attachment to sense gratification. Another person might have some attachment to name, fame, profit, adoration. Another person might have attachment to this body. Krishna is telling you come out of that. How does one will come out of aspect one? He should give priority to aspect two. Please understand. That means what is happening? Vishya vinivartante niraharasya dehinam rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtanavartate. That means what is happening is when we aspire or give time to higher principles, what will happen is the lower taste is removed from our consciousness. There is a stage in between also. What is that in between stage? We aspire for that high and we also sometimes engage in the lower stage. That is okay. We don't have to be disheartened through that. But we need to understand our condition. So slowly what we need to do is our investment on that higher plane should be more. This is what exactly Krishna is telling. This is a beautiful synopsis for each and every one of us. Since yesterday we discussed about this, I was just thinking about this. How is this? How is this very important? Actually, we should think more about this. How should I reduce the conception of spending time on this body? For example, let's say earlier we were spending half an hour in front of the mirror. Now you can spend only 5 minutes. I'm just giving an example. That means what are we trying to do? We are trying, dear devotees, this thing comes since childhood. Who doesn't want to see oneself in the mirror? Who doesn't want to see oneself in a picture? If you take a picture, in that picture, if you're not there, the amount of time you spend seeing that picture is less. And in the same picture, if we are there, the amount of time which we have spent on that picture will be more. Why is that? Because we are correlating with this body. We're correlating. The devotees, every moment we actually correlate with this body, knowingly or unknowingly. For example, if a devotee is coming, we don't ask him how is your sadhana, what are your spiritual motives. We ask, oh Prabhu, you become very slim, you become very weak. That means what are we seeing? The vision goes directly to the body. You become very slim, you become very weak. I'm not saying that one shouldn't speak the well-being of the other devotee, but that should not be everything. See, to establish a dialogue conversation, we need to tell that. Oh, Prabhu, you're doing good, or your service is good. What kind of services you're doing now? Or you become very slim now. Are you eating properly? What happened to you after your surgery? Those kind of conversation can be brought up. But the important conversation should not be missed up. We should not miss the important conversation. Because what is happening, dear devotees, even though the other person is not actually speaking that, if you begin speaking that, what is happening is you are actually invoking the divine consciousness which is there in the other person's heart. Because that person also is looking for that. Because this is a food, not just we are giving to our own self, we are actually giving to the other person. Like let's say our husband or our children or our friend or somebody else, where we want them to come closer to Krishna consciousness. So what is happening is, knowingly or unknowingly, you are doing a service. Service of what? Invoking the soul which is there in the heart. What are we trying to do? We are trying to put this bodily conception aside. And we are giving more importance to this. Who will do this? An intelligent person will do this. That is what Krishna is telling. A sober person will not spend more time on this bodily consciousness. Rather, he will spend more time on to uplift his own Krishna consciousness, which is actually the food for this world. See, if you actually see, Arjuna is actually thinking about the future. If you closely observe, he's thinking about the future. But what is his thought process? He's thinking that if I kill these personalities, the future will not be stable. That means Arjuna is actually predicting the future. Because if 64 crore people die on the battlefield, then there is a disruption. That means ecological balance will be there will be an imbalance in ecological balance. In in the society, there will be an imbalance in the society. The ecosystem will be imbalanced. But another important aspect what he's missing is, and if Krishna is source of everything, if Krishna is telling me to fight, doesn't he manage that? This aspect is missed. Please understand. If we are fully Krishna conscious, won't Krishna take care of us? He will take care of us. But the thing is, we do not have that conviction. There's two things here. A person giving up his job, and then the intent and purpose of giving up the job. For example, if if a devotee sadhaka comes to Krishna consciousness after a couple of years of doing Shravana and Kirtana, he says, I want to give up my job. Now, immediately, the person who is actually trained up in the science, he should ask, why are you giving up your job? Then, if he's saying that I have so much, my office is very difficult, I cannot manage my work, or I cannot maintain all of these things. Okay, that is totally perfectly all right. But can you sustain yourself for the next 20 years? That is the first question he'll ask. What do you have enough money to maintain yourself for the next 20 years? If you stay at your current place, will you be able to manage that? Or if you come to a place where the cost of living is little less, can you manage that? So these are the questions which they will ask. Because why are they asking these questions? Because we need to understand the person who is actually telling this is not in a surrendered plane. That means he is not fully fixed up in the science of Krishna consciousness. That means a lot of churning has to happen more. Because it's been only a couple of years or few years or 10 years or so. More time has to be invested. Right? So based on the questions also, they ask the questions based on the person's capability of accepting the process. No, earlier when Srila Prabhupada came, Srila Prabhupada immediately said, surrender everything. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamakam Sharanam Bhaja. Because they didn't have anything. Those people, they had no family. That Prabhupada said, I'll take care of you. Don't worry. You come, stay in the temple. But now it is not the case. Now it is a little different. You don't have to immediately come and stay in the temple. Rather, you stay where you are, but try working for Krishna. Try cultivating that consciousness. So slowly but eventually, you have to come to that state. That means you have to fully depend on the Lord. That means any project which you are doing, it has to be given by the Lord only. It has to be for His pleasure. Please understand. That means the results of the profits which come through the to any project, it has to be given to the Lord. If this is missing in one's heart, then his Krishna consciousness is hampered. That means he will not understand what the science of Krishna consciousness is. Through this process, what happens is distractions come. For example, I'll take the same example. Chapter 2, Shloka number 70. Now, Krishna is telling we are not this body but a powerful spiritual. Now, whoever is submissive, he will accept that. He will try to work on that particular plane. He will not immediately do that, but he will actually work on that plane. Let's say he will invest, he will work like 50% on that. Fully 100% is not working on a soul plane, but at least 50% is working. That means what is happening? 50% is an advantage, right? That means 50% he came away from sense gratification, or 50% he came away from Dana Jana Sundari. Still 50 more percent is there. That's okay. That is far better than 0%. Right? Logistically speaking, it is far better than 0. That means he is making an advancement. So slowly, let's say if a person doesn't agree to that, he is agreeing to his own words, that he's thinking that is his body. He's not a spiritual. He's thinking that is a body. Then will he get any result out of it? He will not get any result out of it because he's not working on the plane. For example, you've been supposed to be told that you have to finish this project by next month, but you're not working. You're going chit chatting, seeing some WhatsApp messages, doing, browsing in the YouTube, watching some videos which doesn't have any connection or relevance to us. There's no connectivity. Is it helping us because you have to finish your project by next month? Is it helping? It's not helping. Likewise, exactly the same thing. Krishna is our maintainer. If Krishna says something, and when acharyas are confirming that, if you are not following, the problem is with us, nowhere else. That means we need to understand, we need to see where this bodily conception, where are we missing or where are we doing this? Where is the link missed in our life? For example, if somebody tells us something, "Hey, Prabhu, you are a fool number one." Immediately we react. Prabhu, you are just a fool number one. We don't know anything. Actually, your daughter is far better than you. If somebody tells you like that, how do you react? If we are in the bodily conception, then what happens is you immediately react. Oh, what you talking about? Do you know who you are? We immediately question that person. You know who I am? You know how many degrees I have? What is all these things? Bodily conception. That means we are actually denoting ourselves to this. Krishna says you're not that. You're not an engineer, you're not a vice president, you're not a doctor, you're not a scientist, you're not a PhD holder, you're nothing. You're just my Mameva Amsho. You're my Amsha, Baba. You're just doing that just to maintain yourself. You're not that, Baba. Krishna is telling. I'm not telling. Krishna is telling. But we come to that plane of acceptance, what happens is immediately 80% of the distractions are gone. Not 1%, 2%. 80%. That's a big thing. Today I had a conversation. The devotee was telling, Prabhu, you don't think too much about what to do, what not to do. I immediately said, why I should think too much? Why we should think too much? Why I should complex myself? Because this world is uncertain. Please understand it. Please understand this, dear devotee. If you understand this, You'll come out you'll come out of so many inebrities. This devotee was asking, why are you not thinking too much? Like what's gonna happen for 5 years, 10 years? Why are you not thinking? Why are you not the devotee said, why you're not more responsible? You should be more responsible. I said, what's the point? Krishna is giving eating, Krishna has given a place to sleep, Krishna has given a chance to get up in the morning. Krishna has given another a good body to maintain. What is the point of thinking more? Krishna has given children. I'll tell another aspect here. When I was first time teaching in Duleka, my elder daughter, I did not tell her so much. I just told this is A, this is B. She got it. Then I understood we are not here to give them everything. We are here to just to connect them to what they're supposed to be connected. That means I don't have to invest too much in that. I have to invest what I need to invest. I need to spend what I need to spend. I need to give what I need to give. You need to give them love. You need to give them affection. You need to give them caring. We don't have to watch them 24 hours. Because Krishna is already watching them 24 hours. We have to just connect them. The dots have to be connected. That means, for example, if I'm thinking too much of what's going to happen for the next 10 years, how much can we think? Please think about this. How much can we think too much? Our intelligence is limited, our understanding is limited, our consciousness is limited. Then shouldn't I completely ignore it? No, that is also bad. You should have a balance. One cannot ignore completely, one cannot think too much about it. One should have a balance. When a person comes to this balanced state, what happens is he will be free from the dualities. Please understand. If I think too much about that, let's say if that didn't happen, then what benefit we got? Did we have any benefit out of it? We do not have any benefit out of it. We do not gain anything through that. But rather we will be in a state of anxiety because we are losing it. Is this not the life, dear devotees? There are gains, there are losses in this world. When there is a gain, you be so happy. When there is a loss, you get dejected. When there is a loved ones leaving us, they left the body. Don't we feel heartbroken? Yes. When there is a newborn child coming, we are elated. But we don't know how the child will respond later. We don't think about that. We think at this particular moment, thinking that, oh, this child is very beautiful. She's white. She's white and white, beautiful. But we don't know what the child will do after 30 years. That means the thinking should be on the absolute state. That doesn't mean that we don't think anything. We think about the absolute truth because please understand this, please understand it about this. We are in between. This is only a drop of an ocean. This body is only a drop, like drop in an ocean. For example, I was just thinking about this while taking bath. Dear devotees, there is a mesh where all the hair will stop. Every day you take bath, so much hair is going from the body, right? When you see that, after a couple of days, you clean up and then throw them in the dustbin or garbage, right? Our body is like that actually. Every day, so much hair is going off. Our life, which we are leading now, it is like that. That means after some time, it will be cleaned off. Likewise, we are in that state now. Bodies after bodies, not this body, continuously thousands and thousands of bodies we've been taking. That means it is exactly like that only. It's like leaving our hair. We leave our bodies like that. If we are leaving our bodies like that, thinking about this body too much, will that help me a lot? It doesn't help me a lot. For example, if I'm destined to live for 80 years, no matter if you think about your body, if you do not think of your body, you live for 8 years. What's the problem? Actually, if you have this state of consciousness, the amount of time spending with doctor will be reduced because you're not diseased. Why do you go to the hospital when you're diseased? Na? Proper says if you eat once and then sleep 6 hours and then eat some fruits, what are you doing? You're not putting more load to your body. I'll tell an example. There's a devotee who likes to eat dal. He ate dal every day. He's only 27. Now, when he eats dal, his body is not accepting because he has reached the threshold of eating dal, of eating protein through the dal. Somehow he likes it. He eats it a lot. Now the body is not accepting. That means to the point what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, if you eat less, then what is happening? Your body doesn't have to go through a lot of pain to digest that. If the body is not going through a lot of pain to digest that, what is happening? The energy is used to other means of the body to maintain this body in a better way. So through that, what is happening is the amount of diseases are reduced. And eventually what happens is, let's say you live for 80 years, you live for 80 years normally. But when this body is used for sensory gratification, what happens is, again you live for 80 years, but through troubles. Because you have karmic reactions now. That means you have to go to the hospital regularly. You have to visit that person. You have to visit this person. You have to go to another person. You have to go running. You have to do jogging. You have to go to gym. So many things you have to do. Why? Because you're eating more. You have to burn those proteins. But if you eat only once, the body will take care of everything. So that's what Prabhupada, when he says something is very profound, we have to catch those words of Acharyas. And when we apply those things in our life, then the life is peaceful. That means you're not in a state of anxiety. Please understand this. You're not in a state of anxiety. Because this life is not meant to be anxious. This life is meant to be thinking. This life is meant to analyze, understand, or assess our curricula, our surroundings. For this, you need to think. Ara, if you think about this, everything is taken care. I have this strong conviction, Rinjin, through the mercy of the spiritual master. What is a strong conviction is, if I begin thinking more about Krishna consciousness, everything else is taken care. That means whatever supposed to happen in your life, it will happen. And whatever supposed to be removed from your life, it will be removed. It will happen. It will happen. For sure. But the thing is, we need to do that. Otherwise, what is happening is that this body is just a lump of matter. And the moment I use this body for my own satisfaction or enjoyment, then this body will show another shape, another angle it will show. That means the same body which is used for gratification, that same body will be used. The same body will give us so much trouble. This is exactly where the doctors make money. Because the tongue is very voracious now. The tongue is used for gratification only. The more this tongue is used for gratification, the more we have to see doctors. As simple as that. But if this tongue is maintained, everything is maintained. अरे वाचो वेगम मनस क्रोध वेगम जिह्वा उदर उपस्थ वेगम एतान वेगम यो विषयत देव सर्वाम इतिमाम पृथ्वीश्वर शिष्य. That means when that vacho vega is controlled, that means we speak only what is required. We should not speak more. Dear devotees, in my entire day, this is the only time when I speak more. Rest of the time, only if it is required, I speak. If they have any questions, if I have to share something, if I have to tell something, then only I speak. Otherwise, I will not speak. What is the point of speaking? Unnecessary speaking is not necessary. Whatever is necessary, we should speak at that time only. I go, if there is a class, I go, sit there, and then I come back. I don't even share. Because if it is required as a service, I'll do. If it is not, I'll just come back. That's it. Because we should, you know how we should be? We should be like that. No one should understand that we are there. But everything should happen in the background. We should be like that. We shouldn't show to anyone. We are not, devotion is not to show off to anyone. Devotion is to get clarity in our heart. Because who will leave when we are leaving this body? Who are we? Who is leaving? Is our cousin leaving or is somebody else is leaving? We ourselves are leaving. That means who is responsible? We ourselves are responsible. Just like Jadabharat, he understands this. He has full clarity in this. And then what is he doing? Chup cha. He's not speaking. He's speaking only if it is required. If children are there as a service, we should talk. Because it is required. We should give them love. We should share our heart. We should embrace them. That is required. But if those things are not there, we should deal. We should deal like a person. We should deal like a sober person. What is a sober person? A sober person is only speaking when it is required. See, unnecessary talking should be avoided. First thing. That is another distraction. What is another distraction? Unnecessary talking. Unnecessary talking is not good. What do we talk? We talk what we have seen. If we are seeing unnecessary things, we'll talk unnecessary things. For example, if you are browsing internet for all the news which is there in available, that is there in the mind. When somebody comes, if he is also speaking the same thing, immediately this thing will jump on because you already seen that now. Immediately this thing will come. That's why unnecessary seeing should be stopped. If unnecessary seeing is stopped, then unnecessary talking will be stopped. So what we have to see, what we have to hear, Shravana Kirtan. This is what we should do. When this is done, continuously what happens is you speak only this, you will not speak anything else. Because a lot of people will say, oh, there is so much war going. I don't know what's happening there. To be honest with you, I don't know who is fighting to whom also. I don't know. I know some countries are fighting. I don't even know the details. Because it's not relevant to me. It's not relevant. Now you can say, Prabhu, it is relevant. Because the entire world market is on that. So what? I'm sitting somewhere in the corner in one village or in one mandal, whatever you say. How is it relevant to me? It's not relevant. But what is relevant? Krishna conscious. What is relevant? What Krishna is speaking, that is relevant to me. That means thinking too much because they are devotees. I'll tell something. I'll tell another important aspect. If our vision to see this world is minimized, you don't think about that. You go internal, you find what you're supposed to find. For example, let's say there is so much turbulence outside. Let's say you're sitting in front of a pond. Because I remember pond means I remember Memphis. Right in front of our apartment, we have a pond. When there are no windy, it's not windy, then the area is not windy, then I can see crystal clear what is happening underneath. But if it is windy, the water is destroyed. I cannot see what is happening. Exactly, exactly. If our vision is outside, we cannot see internal. If our vision is outside in this is outside of this world, because there's so much going on. We are eager to see what is happening, क्या चल रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, what is Trump doing, what is another person doing, what is this country doing, what is that country doing, where are they putting the bombs, how is that impacted, how is that impacting my job, what is happening. This anxiety will not allow us to at least chant our rounds, dear devotees. It will not give us an opportunity to chant. We cannot see the glory of the other person. Please understand, because we are already in a state of complexity. So this distorted state will not yield results. For that, first thing is we should come out of this bodily consumption. That means we should not decorate too much. We should not decorate this dead body too much. This dead body only. I see this as a dead body only. Because if the soul is gone from this, it's a dead body only. Na? That means this body is getting some value because of the presence of the soul. Because Krishna gave some value to this body. His body only. He gave some value to this body. But this body is technically a dead body. It's a dead matter. Doesn't have any existence. Doesn't have any substance to this. It's a dead matter. We need to come out of this consciousness. Because you're a powerful spirit, part and parcel of the Lord. Then we come to this understanding. And how do we come to this understanding? We should put faith on the words of Srila Prabhupada. We should put faith on the words of our spiritual master. And we put this faith, then this conviction will come. Then we realize that this money is not my money, his money. He is Pati. I am not Pati. I am Pati Das. He is Lakshmipati. I am Lakshmipati Das. We are Lakshmipati Das. That means this belongs to him, not to me. That is another attachment. We should come out of that attachment also. So until these things are sorted off, the distractions will continue. Because what are we doing? We are looking outside. We are not looking internal. That is another distraction which we have. Now this we need to check. And we need to understand one more thing. We have our determination levels are not that deep. Why the determination levels are, I'm talking to myself also. The determination should be increased more. We cannot stay in one state. Now, for example, oh, I cannot think like this, oh, I've given up the job now. Now I'm a devotee. No, 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 no. No, who said? Who said I'm a devotee? Giving up a job, that is okay. That's done. Now what I have to do now? What am I doing now? How is my practice of Krishna consciousness? Am I responsible? Am I honest to myself? Am I really chanting my rounds? Am I really taking shelter of the Lord? Vadanti tattva vidas tattvam vijnanam arvyam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabde. Am I really taking the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the source of this Brahman, who is the source of Paramatma, who is the source, who himself is the Bhagavan? That means all the impersonalists who actually practice this meditation, the process of meditation, is what? Is this Brahmeti process. That means where do they go? They go to the absolute truth. Where is that absolute truth? The Brahman. They don't take shelter of the personality. But that Brahman is also the source of this person only. It's coming from Krishna only. It's just Krishna's effulgence only. It's Krishna's energy only. It's Krishna's, through his effulgence only, this Brahman got created. That means if Krishna is not there is no Brahman also. There's no conception of Brahman. Vadanti tattva vidas sattam yajna. That is also one level of truth. But that one level of truth is not the permanent truth. It's a partial truth. But that partial truth will not give complete happiness. It gives happiness only to Brahmananda. It will not give to the Premananda. Because Premananda comes only through relation. That means if a person is feeling that relationship now, he's never alone. Please understand this, dear devotee. If you are feeling relationship now, you are never alone. Who said you are alone? You're actually working on a project. You're actually working to please the Lord. You're trying to figure out the best possible thing because you want to give best to Krishna. Very important. Very important. Now I'll tell something on what project I'm working on. By the mercy of my spiritual master, I started doing 50% of my salary when I was working many years back. That gave me a lot of confidence. In what? In actually taking this process of Krishna consciousness. Because sadhaka requires one aspect, one service. Through that one service, what happens is unlimited faith will come. Through that unlimited faith, distractions are removed. Now, why am I telling my example is only to inspire. Not that I'm doing something great. No, no, I'm not doing anything. Because it is all coming by the mercy of my spiritual master. To be honest, I'm a very lowly person. I do not have any qualification to even speak a word. Whatever words are coming, it's by the mercy of the spiritual master. Because I don't even, because today, if at all I'm realizing the mercy of Srila Prabhupada means it's only because of my spiritual master. Because before also Srila Prabhupada was there, but I couldn't perceive, I couldn't I couldn't understand his mercy. Today I am little understanding his mercy, it's only because of him, only because of the spiritual master. So when I gave the 50% of salary when I was working, that gave me a lot of confidence in actually taking the process because I was actually feeling perceiving the presence of the Lord. Now, whatever remaining 50% is there, I'm doing another project through that. Because through this project, for the next 10 years, when once I invest this money in this project, then again I will give salary, again I will give Lakshmi for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. Because I don't want to stop. I want to do this to the best of my ability because until this life is there, I want to do best to please Guru and Krishna. Because my spiritual master doesn't even ask anything. He'll continue Shravana and Kirtana. But as a service to him, I have to do something to him. Now, if I do right project at this right time, if it is success, then it goes to the Guru and Krishna. And then whatever remaining is there, that will be for our maintenance. This is the only agenda which I have in this life. Because I don't know whether I'll get another human form of life. I don't know whether I'll get another chance to practice Krishna consciousness or not. But today I have this opportunity. Today I have this chance. I want to utilize this opportunity and chance to the best of my ability. And then do a service to please my spiritual master. Because I know if this person is pleased, Krishna is pleased. Otherwise, what is the point? Because there is no value to this body, to this life. Because if I spend, because before coming to Krishna consciousness, I spent this body for sense gratification. That gave some happiness, but that did not give real happiness. Real happiness, we will taste real happiness when we surrender to the instructions of the spiritual master, when we submit to them. So when we have that kind of personalities in our life, then what happens is our life will be in a different way. Then the distraction will be reduced. I hope you also pray, so that this project will become a successful project, and then the Lakshmi will be used in the service of Guru and Krishna. Again, we can divide this like Lakshmi in half and half, and then it can be used in the service of Guru and Krishna. Other half best for our maintenance, and then eventually going down the line, going down the line, more and more, whatever is not required within that 50 also it will be given to the service of Guru and Krishna. I remember my spiritual master spent 75% of his salary in the service of Guru and Krishna. Whatever he has, 75%. 25% only for his maintenance. I'm not yet there. I'm at 50-50. But more, once these projects they go more, then more will be invested in the service of Guru and Krishna. Because as dear devotees, this life is meant only for this. Whoever understands quickly, they will realize. I'm giving an example. There are so many examples like that. Becoming free from false pride, that is another example. What is it, becoming free from false pride? If I'm doing something, if I'm having an expectation out of it, that means it will actually increase pride in our. Once you do everything for their happiness, when we do everything for their happiness, then we'll become free from false pride. Because we're not doing it for our own thing, we're doing it for their happiness. This is a beauty in the science of Krishna consciousness. So the more we think about this, the more we'll spend time for that. And then the more we'll be elevated to come out of from all of these distractions of. Actually, if I don't think about that war, that means I'm not there with that. See, Arjuna was also not thinking about the war. But the moment something came to him, he began thinking about the war. Because he was kept or shown that attachment. Likewise, when we are shown or kept our attachment, then what happens is, that is where the problem begins. That is where our maturity in Krishna consciousness is shown. If a devotee is very matured, the problems is like a blessing for him. He will easily come out of those problems because by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, he will come out of those problems. There is no problem in that. But that maturity has to be established. We can do great things in the science of Krishna consciousness. All we need to do is, we need to have that right team spirit. I always, not always, I felt that coming to India is the best thing in my life. After spending like almost 18 to 19 years in the US, I felt that this is the best thing which happened. Because all that 19 years, more than half of those years, I practiced Krishna consciousness nicely at Nivrindavan. It's a very golden period in my life. And then after that, I met my Shiksha Guru many years back during the time of COVID. That changed my entire conception of Krishna consciousness. How one should be Krishna conscious? It is completely changed. That means whatever we have, it has to be used in his service. That the conviction he brought. Because all glory is to him. Because it is his glory. It is his conviction. Because he gave his conviction. He gifted that conviction. Now that conviction is going forward. So that the next 5 years, 10 years, once this project kicks in, then I'll concentrate more, going deeper into the science of Krishna consciousness. Read more, hear more, understand more. Once my younger daughter becomes a little older, then I will have more time, to be absorbed in the scriptures. Because I want to spend more time studying the scriptures, understanding them more internally, more deeper. Why Arjuna? Why Arjuna is being kept in this state? Why not this state? He could have reacted in this way. Now, why is he reacting in this way? What is the problem? Why he reacted in this way only? He could have reacted in that way also. Why only this? It's likewise deepening more deeper, going more into Bhagavad, then understanding the subject matter. And then whatever little realization or reflection, giving it to others as a service to spiritual mission. This is what I want to dedicate my life in the service of Guru and Krishna. Hope dedications like this for a few lifetimes will give us an opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead. And then I do not have a desire to go back home, back to Godhead. Only if my spiritual master tells no, you go, then I'll go. If he says you stay, I'll stay. That is the whole idea. Because I want to become an instrument of him. I don't want to do anything else in this way. Whatever I gained, it's only for him. If we have this attitude, distractions will not come. Dear devotees, if we have this attitude, if people are spitting on you, still you will be happy. People are saying you're fool number one. You're fit for nothing. Thank you, brother. Thank you. We accept that. We will not reject their words. We will actually remember them. Why? Because through their words only, we want to go deeper. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gone deeper into the science of Krishna consciousness. Actually, we should be grateful to the personalities who are putting us down. Because through that only, we'll take the science of Krishna consciousness. Actually, later on, Arjuna is very grateful to Duryodhana also. Why? Because through him only, he fought. If Duryodhana is not like that, why he will fight? Arjuna is definitely grateful of Duryodhana. For sure. Because through him only, he became such a great personality. So it is very important. So for us, our anarthas take that position of Duryodhana. So we should come out of those anarthas and then lead a simple life. Aspire for that simple living and high thinking. That's the beauty. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Amma Bhaswati, is that okay?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. Very nicely explained. And that's, yes, the bodily concept, as long as I have the bodily concept, thinking about the needs of the body, and because and due to that, when I'll act, um, then the destruction will come. But when I think that it's a body, we are the soul, not the body, and also our activity should be focused on the pleasing the acharyas, the gurus, and building relationship. That way, we'll be able to remove the distractions in this life. And some point, as Prabhuji, you are very elevated, Prabhuji. Um, your daily life, your realization, as you mentioned, because of your spiritual master, you got that realization. You are very elevated. So please pray for me, Prabhuji, so that I can also, at least little bit in this life, it's possible, can get that realization. And as you said, that's very nicely, it's touched my heart when you said that I don't know next life what I'll be. So at least in this life, if I get the opportunity, why don't I utilize that? So it's a very big realization, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Actually, thank you, Amma. Actually, we really don't know. We really don't know how many days we will live in this body. We have no idea. We have no idea whether we'll get another human form of life or not. We have no idea. Because this is the reason why I said the beginning of the class aggressive. Because we should be aggressive. Because we don't know. We are in a pathetic condition. We are full blown, we are gone. We are completely away from our existence, actually, from our real existence. That's why we should be aggressive. Aggressive what? Aggressive to find Krishna. Aggressive to find the mercy of the spiritual master. Aggressive to find the grace of the acharyas. Because that is our life. Do not have any other life. All other life, it's all Maya. This is a real life. We might earn thousands of dollars. That will not give satisfaction to the heart. The heart will only be satisfied when the soul is satisfied. Soul doesn't have any connection with that actually. उसको संबंध ही नहीं. It has no connection with that. Let's say your body is diseased. It has no connection to the soul. Your body, the body is engaged in sense gratification. The soul doesn't have any connection to that. The soul, body is suffering so much. Soul doesn't have any connection to that. But the soul is suffering. It has no connection, but it is suffering. Because the time to come closer to Krishna is increased. Because the body is used in another state. Because the body is used for another thing. But this body has also no value. Because if the soul is removed from this body, it has no value, it has no purpose, no existence. Among all these chaotic conditions, still, when some gratification comes to us, we immediately grab that gratification and then come out of it. It's a very sad and pathetic situation. This is called as conditioning. And this conditioning is very deep, very, very deep. It's not easy to come out of this condition. But this we need to have continuous association. Continuous Shravana Kirtana has to go. My best wishes to all of you. We should all come to the plane of pure devotion. Because that is the only solace in this creation. So much wars are going on. These people are fighting. Huh? These leaders, they're not leaders actually, they're demons. They want to see themselves on the top. Like Shudra want to see himself on the top. That is Shudra mentality. These are all Shudras who are actually leading now. That's why the society is very topsy-turvy. Actually, they are lower than Shudras. You can't even say. Because they are all looking for themselves only. Name, fame, profit, adoration, sex life, sense gratification. It's all that only. It's all animals sitting on the top position. They want to see themselves on the note also, on the rupee note. They want to see themselves on the top. So much degraded. They want to see themselves. If everyone wants to see about themselves, will anyone think about the others? There's no question of thinking about others. If there's no question of thinking about others, is there a question of thinking about Krishna? Completely forget about it. There's no question about that. If there is no selflessness in one's heart, do we ever come to pure goodness? No. Selflessness is a source actually to come to goodness. If selflessness is not manifested, there is no goodness. If there is no goodness, there is no transcendental goodness. If there is no transcendental goodness, we cannot relish the Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. They remain like dry subject matter. When the Shastra will become dry subject matter, when the Shastra is not applied in one's life, that moment only it becomes dry. Why we are not applying? Again, I said a couple of days back, remember? Through our attachments. There's so many attachments in our lives. These attachments are the problem. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. Anyone would like to add anything? Subal Prabhu, looks like you want to share something.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandapranam, all Krishna Prabhupada. Wonderful realization, Prabhuji, every day giving us nectar. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. You are showing by your example how to lead a Vaishnava life, how we can follow your steps. Yesterday, we were celebrating His Holiness Jaipatak Swami Maharaj Vyas Puja, and we were, astonished how Maharaj, in spite of all these challenges, health, he continues to serve everyone. He
Exactly.
doesn't take, even though, we had a wonderful, so we have to follow Maharaj's footsteps and how, you mentioned, so every town and village, we should propagate. So we also started a small project, Prabji, here in Tampa, with your blessings and Maharaj, all blessings. We also wanted to, propagate this message in Tampa as well. Please bless us, Prabji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My best wishes. One thing I want to tell about that. The more you all become or come to the plane of pure devotion, at that moment you can inspire others. Please aspire for that state. If you all come to the plane of pure goodness, if you all come to the plane of pure devotional service, and selflessly trying to serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada, then that will inspire so many people. That is the best inspiration, because when we gain that inspiration, then we are not giving anything, rather we are sharing our heart to others. That will manifest very nicely. So, my request, please aspire for that state of pure goodness. Try to come to that state. Because when you come to that state, you can give that. It will be very, very helpful. You can be of great service to Srila Prabhupada and his representatives. If that is manifested, all the very best to each and every one of you. Hare Krishna. Anyone would like to add anything? Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. We'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Jai.